So hey guys, hello everyone, good evening. Hello people. So good evening all, good evening Subjit, good evening Swati. So just tell me in the chat box that am I audible and visible clearly? Hi guys, hi, hello. Guys, are you there? Just give me some emoji or anything in the chat box so that I will get to know. Good evening Ranjit. Yes ma'am. Okay. So, guys, put some emojis in the chat box please. So yeah, till you put some emojis that till that time I'll introduce myself. Okay. So guys, once again good evening and I welcome you all to the day one of Git and GitHub Bootcamp. And me myself Anam Khan, one of the team member from LetsUpgrade. So I'm just here to inform you all like how to mark your attendance to get your certificate. And I'm not your trainer, but yeah, the trainer for this bootcamp is Mr. Gaurav Dip sir. Most of you all must be knowing him. Sorry. Hi. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the reply. So yeah, just let me share my screen and I will explain you like how to do it. Guys, I hope my screen is also visible to you all. Yeah. So here in the description box, we have attendance link, registration link, certificate link, and for everything we have one link. Click on this link. You will be redirected to this enrollment page, and here you can see day one. Scroll down the page. You can see here day one. Beside day one, there is mark attendance option. You need to mark your attendance daily for 3 days to get the certificate, and you need to rate the session like how much you like the session, and will you recommend it to your friends. If you really like the session, please guys do share with your friends, let them know about our free courses with certification. And here you need to scale like on 0 to 10, and I will give for now 10. And here is the feedback option. If you have any feedback for us, any like positive, negative, or you want any improvement from our side, you are free to like explain it here. Then submit your attendance, reload the page, and you can see this progress bar. It will increase day by day as you mark your attendance for 3 days. And if the progress bar is above 50, you will get to download generate certificate option. You can see that here on day 3, and you can download your certificate through this page. And also we have Telegram community groups and WhatsApp community groups. You can join us there. We share their everyday reminders, invite, and everything update about our Let's Upgrade that we come up with. So you can join us there. And also we have like SAP program, that is Student Ambassador program. The batch is starting from first step. Sorry, today only our batch launch day is there. You can, but it's a 1 month program. You can join for. You can enroll for the next batch that is starting from 1st May. And there are many like incentive packages. Like you can get incentives, swags, SAP ID. Chance to work with Let's Upgrade team and meet industry leaders, to attend workshop. You can get many more chances and benefit from our side. So please make sure that you are enrolling and applying for our student ambassador program. And any further detail, you can join the community group and get the more information from there. Also guys, if we are coming up with HTML5 bootcamp after this, then we have workshop. So guys, please make sure that you're enrolling for our upcoming bootcamps and workshops. For any problem you people are facing, please let us know in the chat box. Drop your mail ID, or else go on support. Wait, I will show you all. Wait, see here you can see need help. You can put your queries there. Our team will reply to you all and help you to mark your attendance, and for issue your solve your attendance issue. You can mark your attendance anytime between or after the session. So I will introduce. I think you people have no doubt. So I will introduce Gaurav Deep sir to the session, and he will let you know all the things. Hi, sir. Hello.
All
Good
right.
evening.
Thank you so much, Anna ma'am, for the introduction. Hello, good evening. How are you all doing?
Sir, you can give
Okay.
them the
So, good
brief
evening.
introduction about everything.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, first of all, good evening to all the students who have joined in. I can see a few of the top chats coming in. All right. Uh, okay. So, yes. First of all, I'm happy that you have all joined the session for the agenda of learning Git, what it is. So I'll give you a brief introduction. What are we planning? What is the goal of today's session, right? So first of all, this session is all about Git, and people were asking that is there any prerequisites? I'll mention no. There is no such uh, previous background work or tech or a course that you should have completed to do this. We will be doing everything from scratch. We will be understanding the complete Git from basic to advanced thing in this 3 days workshop. The next thing is that let us understand in brief what exactly is the curriculum, how are we spending time to go over these details, right? So first of all, we will introduce ourselves to the Git. What that would mean is that we will understand what is a version control and version control system, and how Git is a type of it. We will understand how does Git work, installing Git on any operating system, interacting with the terminal, doing the basic setup configuration. uh, we will walk around with the basic Git operations, which could be cloning the repository, updating files, creating branches, merging them. We will understand these things. We will from here dive deep into the Git details, like what is advanced branching, which could be like removing branches, deleting branches, or suppose if we have done some changes, if we want to redo them, undo them. So how to revert to the previous state, or just stash or rebase things. We will completely work around this. Along with the complete understanding of Git, we will also go to GitHub. We will understand about GitHub, GitLabs, what are these, how do they work. We will talk about their functions, their features. We'll understand the UI, and by the end, we will have complete mastery over GitHub and GitLab, or you can say the Git, and how to use it, right? So with that being said, I'll just quickly take you over to the journey, and I hope my screen is visible. If not, just let me confirm that. Can you all see my screen? I am trying to present a whiteboard. If you all can just let me know. I'll just quickly once again check if the screen is visible. Okay, so my screen is being shared. Let it come up. Yeah, so the screen is visible. That's good. Now, let us go over the agenda and discuss what is the exact thing that we're trying to do. So, we will note down the agenda for today. So, agenda is we will talk about version control system, what it is, and how does it work. We'll introduce ourselves to the Git. We will also download the Git from a website. We will understand what is the terminal, or you can say command prompt. You can call it CMD. We'll understand how does this thing work and how we can use it. We'll also talk about some basic Git configurations, right? So we will talk about this. This should also be the agenda. Okay, let me see what are the top chats coming in. All right, great. So many people are requesting that if I can speak in English. I can see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 10, 20, at least 10, 20 people coming in and mentioning that English should be the program. So if that's the mass demand, of course we can do that, since majority of you want that, right? So great. With that being said, we will just simply move. I'll try to stick to English in that case. Okay, good. So ठीक है students, with in with this thing in our head, start करते हैं version control system के साथ, right? What exactly is a version control system? So let us first understand the term version. ये version क्या होता है ना, इसको पहले थोड़ा सा एक बार we will try to understand what exactly it means, and we will take any random example of it. ठीक है? If you want to stick to IT, the random example could be an operating system or an OS, right? Such as Android, or iOS का आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. If you want to skip some other examples, some physical versions, तो जैसे कोई बाइक है, ऑटोमोबाइल है, they all get their versions, right? Like if you take any bike, कोई बाइक ले लो, यामाहा की बाइक ले लो, R15, so you can take that and you can consider there are versions like version 1, version 2, version 3, right? So okay, yeah, all right, all right. Don't worry, students. For the war between Hindi and English, what I promise you is that whatever I'm speaking in English is more than sufficient, and whatever I'm speaking in Hindi is also the same comparative version. I'll make sure that no information is passed in just one particular language, right? मैं पूरा ध्यान रखूंगा that whatever is in English is also coming up in Hindi, right? So that way, you people do not have to worry. Whatever I'm speaking in Hindi is not something that you're losing, right? So that way we are balanced. Perfectly, students, do not worry. Uh, be completely assured that none of the information is leaking out in Hindi. That's for sure. Okay, so you guys can just simply end over the debate. We will find in between path where all of us can be on the same page, right? And that's fine, that's completely fine. Okay, so with that being said, हम version control system, we are understanding this what it means. So यहाँ पे in version control system I gave you some examples. So students, if you all can just quickly type some examples, that will be really interesting. Let us engage all of you. यहाँ पर just type in some examples of different versions that you feel exist. Any one physical example that you can give which have versions, right? Shraddha, this video is available for more than 24 hours. You can always come to our YouTube page and you will find this video always available in the recordings. Okay. So with that being said, quickly students, populate the chat with some examples जहाँ पर आपने versions देखे हो different things के. Right. I give you one example. Yamaha R15 is a bike. It has many versions. Version 1, version 2, version 3, right? Version 4. So ऐसे ही कौन से versions हैं जो आपने real life में देखे हैं, and quickly if you can just shed some light on it. Okay, let me see what are people saying. Language is important. Okay, HTML has versions. All right, Android has versions. Team Foundation server, YouTube versions, iPhone versions. Perfect. Chrome versions, BGMI. Yes, Yamaha V4, mouse, keyboard, everything has different versions. A car such as BMW could have versions. All right. Uh, More than enough people. I think definitely that's the thing. So now you tell me, students should tell me in the chat itself what exactly is different between versions. What do you think happens? एक version से दूसरे version जाने में change क्या होता है? What is the difference between a version 1 and a version 2? Something like that. All right, Anam is saying that TVs have different versions. Like some TVs are based on LED, some goes for QLED, LCDs. WhatsApp has versions. Amit is saying AI chat GPT has different versions. GPT started with different versions. 3.5 is one, 4 is one, 3 is one. Okay. So many people are saying that upgrade, update, some modifications, new features, new features, updates, the upgrade to something new, security upgrade, kuch new features, optimization upgrade. So let me note down all these interesting points that you are saying. Okay, you are saying there could be new features. Okay, that's interesting. Let me also clear up the chat, this whiteboard quickly. So you are saying that there could be new feature. Okay, all right, and some are saying that there could be debugging. Okay, perfect. So debugging could be like let me call it bugs removal. Okay, ठीक है, bugs removal and some fixes. ठीक है, some fixes you are launching in it. Then there could be, you are saying new features hai, there could be some upgrades. Okay, not only this, there could be some security upgrades, security patches. Then there could be, you are mentioning optimization. Perfect. Many examples that have come up from you. That's good enough, right? So, of course, this is the prime agenda and the meaning of having different versions. That's true. That's pretty honest. And now when we understand what a version will comprise of, let us understand why it is important and necessary to have version control, right? So if you understand, let us take an example of any random bike for this case. Okay, let us say that we have a bike. I'm not pretty good at drawing, and I would like to keep it like that. Okay, we will just try to have one bike coming into picture right over here. Okay, and if this is the bike that we have, and say this is version 1, let us call it Yamaha R15, right? Version 1. So it came up with its own methods and technologies and features, right? So now this is a product that has been made. We can take some different examples. Okay, like for example, we can take example of Zomato, we can take example of Netflix. Okay, we can take example of Instagram if you want. Okay, so that would be many examples that we can have. Instagram, Netflix. You gave us many interesting examples, many of you gave us such beautiful answers in the chat, students. So that's really good to have that. Now what is happening is that when this is launched, so now when you want to build something upgraded version of it, or you can say you want to fix some things, for example, when you launch a product in the market, you get some feedback, right? So Himanshu, ideally there will not be exactly some notes that will come up for this session, but I'll help you with the notes. Do not worry. Uh, by if you join tomorrow's live session, Himanshu, there will be notes facility available for all of you, right? Okay. All right. So with that being said, let us understand कि जैसे Yamaha का version 1 ले लेते हैं. Now the company wants to make another version. Okay. So when the company wants to make another version, they should not start from scratch, right? The team should not worry about things which are already built. और ये कैसे हो सकता है अगर आपके वर्जन के ऊपर आपका कंट्रोल है, मेंटेनेंस है और चीजें अवेलेबल हैं. सपोज नाउ यू वांट टू मेक से अनदर बाइक से, अभी आपको बाइक बनानी है यामाहा R15 ही बनानी है विद वर्जन 2. यू हैव मेनी थिंग्स कमिंग इन फ्रॉम पीपल. एक फीडबैक आ रहा है that this bike has some power issues. 150cc ओके भी लग रहा है कि इनफ पावर नहीं दे रही है. ठीक है, पीपल आर हैप्पी विद योर माइलेज एंड दैट्स लाइक योर यूएसपी. उसकी वजह से बाइक बिक भी रही है कि स्पोर्टी लुक्स हैं, पीपल हैप्पी विद द लुक्स, बट देन यू फील दैट ओवर टाइम थोड़ा लुक ओल्ड हो रहा है, यू वांट टू रिफ्रेश इट. सो जो बेस फ्रेम होगा, टेरलिस फ्रेम हो, डायमंड कट फ्रेम हो, जो भी फ्रेम हो, यू वांट टू यूज द सेम फ्रेम टू मेक दिस बाइक. So from the previous version, like that is from your archive, you should be able to retrieve it, right? Based on this, you should do modifications rather than starting from ground zero. Okay, that's one point. Next thing is you make some changes. Okay, you make some changes, you are doing certain things and you reach a point where you feel that you have messed things up, which means that this is not what you expected. Practically things went wrong, physics is not going with the body that you're making. You want to just redo things. So to undo things, if you have maintained how you reached till this point, then it becomes a little easier to undo, right? For example, I'll give you one simple example. मान लो that we are writing some handwritten notes. ठीक है, forget digital notes, paper pen, classic paper pen पे आप कुछ लिख रहे हो and you've written a lot of things. Now you want to redo it, right? Like there are some sentences that you want to reframe. Okay, just a second, students. So I hope that I didn't lose my voice because I am on my mobile network for now. There is some you can say Wi-Fi crisis at my place. Last minute my Wi-Fi has dished me as normal. So can you all just confirm if my voice is still clear? Actually I got a phone call and I'm not sure if that disturbed my Wi-Fi. Anyone can just quickly come in if my voice is clear. All good till here. No issues. All right. Okay. That's great. Good. So with that being said, we will talk about version control system again. So I was saying कि आपके पास अगर hand written notes हैं and now you feel that few lines आपको compress करने हैं, summarize करने हैं, with different words लिखने हैं, तो that is something that cannot be undone, right? वो changes आपको वहाँ पे cut करके whitener लगा के you'll have to patch it. there is no going back. ठीक है. uh, Suppose you are doing some Photoshop edit, और Photoshop edit करके आपने एक फाइनल फोटो क्लिक कर ली, और आपने सारे जो फाइल्स हैं, everything which is in the Photoshop, that if you are deleting those files and you just have a photo as JPG, you cannot redo changes. ठीक है. Thing is, because there is no version control system over there. So that's the most important point, that version control systems uh, give you great improvement facilities that can happen, and like they are softwares designed to help developers move faster, right? Now if we skip the bike, for example, okay, I'll just complete that example. Suppose Yamaha R15 version 2, when it came, many people started complaining that this bike has bug. And what is the bug? That the pillion seat is too high. Pillion seat is so high that people have extraordinarily commented, like your feedbacks are filled with this thing, that company was forced to come back with Yamaha version 2s. What does Yamaha version 2s means? That they have fixed seat for different taste. Of course, whatever you like you can pick. We are not saying that version 2 seat will be discarded, but for the feedback we were quickly able to come up with V2s. Why? Because they have maintained the complete flow, how to make that thing and how to undo things. Okay. So moving ahead from Yamaha R15, let us go to Netflix. Okay. So, or Netflix, or any other company, say any other company for that fact. So these companies also, what they do is they maintain their version control, right? That is the most important thing to do. What does this mean is that when you're developing any app, okay, when you're developing some app, and you have written some code, just imagine this is your piece of code, okay, and trust me, ideally when you're in the development stage, people tend to do a lot of things wrong. For example, you're writing some code, okay, and you realize, okay, this particular line, let me just mark it with red, it is not working correctly. What you will do is you will apply some patch over here, okay, and you will save this file. Okay, you have saved it, and now you're saying, okay, this is, I need some temporary fixes, so I'll just go quickly add some more patches to this system. And what will happen is that ideally you will feel is that, ठीक है, यहाँ पे कुछ lines लिखी cut की, ये lines लिखी कुछ cut की, and what you will do is you will actually end up messing up a lot of your code. And once you have saved it, there is no going back, ठीक है, until and unless you are able to do Control Z, undo and things like that. It is more than enough. But when you save it and you're not able to go back to the changes, that is where trouble starts, right? Maybe in between you got something which was great enough, but then you lost your track, and now you are somewhere where you are forced to restart from ground zero. So that is where version control system comes into picture. What it does is that, starting from day one, suppose today I'll start with a file, okay, this could be any file, okay. Version control systems do not work with programming separately. Ideally they are built for developers, but we can take any example. It could be any real life case, ठीक है. आप इसको थ्योरी में किसी भी चीज से अप्लाई कर सकते हो. मान लो आप कोई डॉक्यूमेंट लिख रहे हो, यू आर अ कंटेंट राइटर, यू आर राइटिंग सम कंटेंट, एवरी डे यू डू सम चेंजेस, यू वांट टू हैव सम वर्जनिंग ऑफ इट, ठीक है, कि ट्यूसडे दिस हैपेंड, वेडनेसडे दिस हैपेंड, Tuesday these were the changes, and these were some changes for एडिशन एंड डिलीशंस, ये चीज ऐड की गई थी, डिलीट की गई थी, वेडनेसडे दिस हैपेंड, दैट हैपेंड. सो अ हिस्ट्री ऑफ whatever you have done, the complete progress, if you want to have version of it, that is version control system. So suppose today I am writing line 1, okay. So what will happen is, okay, how we take screenshots, right, as a proof of something. Version control systems can take up a screenshot, okay, with many metadata along with it. Metadata का मतलब समझते हो, like the data which is supplementary, not necessarily important to be showcased on the page. Like for example, metadata में you could have things like this coming into picture, okay. Let me just quickly write some metadata for you, that timestamp, कि ये कितने बजे चेंजेस हुए हैं. सपोज यू हैव रिटन दिस लाइन एट से 1857, दैट इज लाइक अराउंड 7 PM, ठीक है. दिस इज वेर यू हैव रिटन द टाइम स्टैम्प. यूजर हु हैज डन इट, so it will say Gauravdeep ने changes किए हैं, okay, that is my name. So this is the person who has done these changes, okay. There could be date along with it, वो timestamp में आ जाएगी date, like for example 0104 2024, things like that, okay. And it will ask me, of course, if whenever I want to save it, it will ask me for a commit, like why am I doing this. I will say uh, pushing task one details to somewhere. Okay, so this is something that I will write as a text note every time when we do version control updates. We write some task details coming in the commit section. ठीक है, so user कौन है, क्या किस लिए चेंजेस कर रहे हैं, कितने बजे चेंजेस कर रहे हैं, व्हाट आर द चेंजेस, लाइक वो यहाँ पर हाईलाइट करेगा दैट one line has been added. ठीक है, so one line is added, it will write over here, and these are the things available for you. So this is one particular screenshot that the git will save for you. Yeah, not git, but a version control system will save for you. Any version control system will do it, and it will store it wherever you want it to do. Kal chal ke, if I'm coming back and I'm writing say 1 2 3 4 more lines and I want to save it, so again it will take one snapshot and save it. Say tomorrow when I want to come in and अब मुझे आके कुछ lines delete करनी है, say I want to delete this line, so that can again be वो भी हो सकता है. How it will happen is it will simply just take another screenshot and it will say okay, on third day you removed one line, and which line was removed, it will also take a screenshot of it. Now on fourth day, मान लो, when I come back, I realize that it was my mistake to remove that line. I should have kept that line and modified it in some other way. So there is a way of going back now, which is like you have a version control. You can go back in the history, take that line which you felt was needed, and replace it with the current scenario, and then proceed with your modifications. That is still doable, it is acceptable, you can move with it. Okay, so that's the thing of it, right? So that's the most important thing about version control system. The next important thing about version control system is like version control systems can help you create different branches. For example, suppose एक प्रॉब्लम को समझते हैं. ठीक है, द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी वांट टू डेवलप वन ऐप. ठीक है, लेट अस से वी वांट टू बिल्ड ए फैशन ऐप. ठीक है, फैशन ई कॉमर्स ऐप वी आर मेकिंग दिस. सो व्हाट विल हैपन इज दिस ऐप हैज मेनी फीचर्स. ठीक है, हम कुछ फीचर्स की बात करते हैं कि इसके अंदर एक फ्रंट एंड बनने जा रहा है. व्हाट इज फ्रंट एंड मीन्स? सो फ्रंट एंड कुड बी अ मोबाइल बेस्ड, वेब बेस्ड. ठीक है, जहां पर आपको इंडिविजुअल्स को आपकी वेबसाइट दिखानी है. वॉट एवर इज अवेलेबल ऑन द फ्रंट साइड ऑफ द वेबसाइट विद विच द यूजर्स कैन इंटरैक्ट इज द फ्रंट एंड साइड. ठीक है, इसका एक बैक एंड साइड बनेगा. ओके, एंड विद द बैक एंड साइड इसके अंदर एक एमएल, मान लो एमएल स्कोप आ रहा है, एआई स्कोप आ रहा है. ठीक है, विच इज लाइक वी विल सजेस्ट यूजर सम items to buy based upon their user profiles through AI. ठीक है, that is one thing. तो फ्रंट एंड के अंदर लाइक देयर आर डिफरेंट थिंग्स जो कोलैबोरेट हो रहे हैं. लाइक मे बी सम पर्सन इज इसमें लाइक देयर आर 10 डिफरेंट वेब पेजेस टू बी मेड. ठीक है, 10 वेब पेज की ये वेबसाइट बनने जा रही है टोटल, एंड 10 वेब पेज में से 5 वेब पेज एक डेवलपर बना के दे रहा है आपको. Like you have resource distribution, then you have some more 5 web pages being built by some another user. ठीक है, so that is one point. Backend में मान लो like there are again 2 developers, there are like uh, 50 logics to be built in backend. ठीक है, और 50 logics ऐसे कुछ मान लो, फिर features मान लो, there are features that you have to build, ऐसा कुछ करना है. So there are like 3 different developers working on it. 10 features ये बंदा बना रहा है, 20 features ये बंदा बना रहा है, and 10 features ये बंदा बना रहा है, right? Different features are being built like this. ML के ऊपर again there is one resource available. ठीक है, like one resource is working over here. So what is happening is that they all need some point at some point collaboration. ये collaboration बहुत जरूरी है, right? So what will happen is Git or any version control system can give you different collaborations. For example, एक base file पकड़ लेते हैं. Let's take for an example एक base file ले ली आपने. Like this is the base folder. ठीक है, इसमें आपकी सारी फाइल्स पड़ी हैं, फ्रंट एंड बैक एंड की सभी कुछ पड़ा है. एमएल वाला भी इंटरेक्ट करेगा, बैकएंड वाला भी इंटरेक्ट करेगा, इवन फ्रंट एंड वाला से इंटरेक्ट करेगा. ऑल दिस पीपल आर इंटरेक्टिंग इन द सेम फाइल्स. अब मान लो लाइक देयर इज सम इंटरडिपेंडेंसी के जो बैकएंड इंजीनियर है दे आर मेकिंग सम चेंजेस जो एमएल को डिसरप्ट कर रहे हैं. दे आर कॉजिंग सम ट्रबल टू द एमएल के वहां पर जो है कुछ डिफिकल्टी आ रही है उनके चेंजेस करने से. फ्रंट एंड वाला कुछ चेंजेस कर रहा है, वो बग्स में जा रहे हैं, लाइक दे आर ब्रेकिंग इन. व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज दिस ऑल 3 डेवलपर्स आर इंटरकनेक्टेड टू ईच अदर एट सम पॉइंट. ठीक है, एंड डेवलपमेंट अगर अलग हो सके तो इट इज बेटर, राइट? सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज कि ब्रांचिंग क्या करता है, इट मेक्स कॉपीज ऑफ दिस फोल्डर्स, ठीक है। जैसे यहाँ पर एक कॉपी बना दी गई है फ्रंट एंड वालों के लिए, इसमें सभी फाइल्स हैं, एमएल की भी फाइल है, बैकएंड की भी फाइल है, फ्रंट एंड की भी फाइल है, सब फाइल है। यही कॉपी बना दी गई है बैकएंड वालों के लिए। व्हाट इज हैपनिंग हियर, इसके बैकएंड वालों के लिए भी सब फाइल्स इसी फोल्डर में है, और एक कॉपी बना दी गई है एमएल वालों के लिए। तो यहाँ पर ये फोल्डर में भी सारे के सारे फाइल्स पड़े हैं, ठीक है। सो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज द term for this different folders is known as branching, ठीक है। So branching एक strategy है which is like the feature of any version control system। अगर कोई चीज version control system है तो वो branches को support करेगी, क्योंकि ये this is the you can say one of the feature of version control systems। So what is happening is कि front end, whatever the changes front end person is doing, they are being updated but in the front end branch only, ठीक है। back end person will have all the front end files but without any changes that the front end person is doing, that is happening in a separate branch now। back end person has all these files but the changes are not yet available here, ठीक है। I'll tell you what does this mean in simple terms। Even if you all have not seen programming in real life, do not worry। You have seen how people write in a word file, a text file, right? If I give assignment to three different students, okay, you have to write one paragraph in this word file, and this is a common word file that you will have to use. What will happen is that suppose person one is typing something and person 2 is typing something. Person 1 can easily disrupt person two's task, right? Maybe they put some enters or white spaces or tabs which changes the format for second person. So you guys are developing, right, individual tasks, and you should not do it in one single file, right? Although you will need assistance from each other. You will need, okay, what is happening in the front end, you need some reference that what is the other person doing, that should be reflected. You will take those reflections and keep doing your task, okay, until and unless you want to take the changes from the other person, you do not want to be disrupted. So that can be done with the branching only. What it does is it makes copy of the existing file, and whatever you're changing remains in your branch, only you can see it. Once you push that and you say that now we should merge these changes, or now we should merge the effort of both the developers, then you get into a single uh, file where all the changes are being reflected, right? So that is merging of different branches, right? Again, so traceability is something that version control systems do have, as I explained you, right? So you can trace each change, when it was made, who made it, who was the project management, what happened. So such activities, like you have Jira for an example, it is a tracking software for that. So such things you do not need to depend upon them. You can do all the forensic tasks, like, okay, like what was changed, when it was changed, who changed it, what are the effects, things like that. So that can be given by version control system. So now, talking about Git is a version control system to begin with, right? So version control systems, they help you manage, track your files, document what it is happening, where it is happening, and things like that, right? So the importance of Git is, why Git is one of the most important version control system is, right? Because it is open source, free of cost है, कोई पैसा नहीं लगता Git को यूज करने का, Git free है, ठीक है। What are the important reasons to in fact switch to Git is that more than 70% of दुनिया का काम जो है, world's work into IT or the developers, they use Git by standard. So if you are becoming a developer, if you want to stay in that 70-80% of the community, you'll have to learn Git, okay? That is one thing. Advantages, I've told you, collaboration हो सकती है. You people can keep track of who is doing what are the changes happening. You can code simultaneously, parallelly you can code individually without affecting each other's task. Whenever you need, say suppose मान लो फ्रंट एंड वाला बता रहा है कि मेरे ये 2-3 फीचर्स बिल्ड हो गए हैं, बैक एंड वाले को कह रहा है कि ओके गिव मी द चेंजेस. सो फ्रंट एंड पर्सन हैज डन सम चेंजेस, दे हैव डेवलप्ड सम फीचर्स, and now the backend person is saying that okay, now you give me these changes, so they can just push their changes on their branch, and you can take a pull from their branch, and you can merge the code. Now you have the update coming from the front end. So that's why you can collaborate, you can do branching, you can do experimentation, you will have the history and the accountability of all the things happening. Suppose when you're trying to merge two branches, उसमें कुछ conflict raise हो रहा है, when multiple developers, they work on the same code, there could be conflicts merging in different branches. So version control systems can help you identify and even resolve these issues. Okay, so that is the most important thing. सो सोर्स कोड मैनेजमेंट हो जाती है, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के लिए काम आ जाते हैं, कंटेंट मैनेजमेंट के लिए काम आ जाते हैं, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के लिए काम आ जाते हैं. These are different things in which version control systems or Git can have. So okay, so I'm also parallelly looking to the chat. So sir, I have a question. How much time does this session could be? I have exam tomorrow. Do not worry, it won't stretch for more than 60 minutes. Okay, I can understand it. Mostly, I think you are in 11th, 12th standard because these people are having exams now. Okay. Or I'm not sure which exam do you have. Okay. So apart from that, moving ahead, we will talk about Git's nature. So version control systems can have two different natures coming into picture. Version control systems either could be centralized or they could be distributed. So when we talk about centralized or distributed, what is the one of the most important thing over here is कि centralized system का मतलब होता है कि like these changes that you're doing, you're making some branches, you are making some changes, you are pushing them, everything is happening on one single location. Okay, suppose you are in Mumbai and you have just one central location. So even person working in Delhi is doing some changes, those changes are not stored in Delhi, they will come to Mumbai. That's a centralized idea, right? So Git has decentralized flow, right? There are some other version control systems like SVN, ऐसे कुछ version control systems हैं Git जैसे, but वो centralized हैं. So Git का सबसे बड़ा फायदा है, the benefit of Git is that developers have the freedom to work independently. They can commit changes locally. ठीक है, Git आप अपने पर्सनल लैपटॉप में भी चला सकते हो उसी ब्रांच के लिए. You can keep the changes in your laptop itself. No need to put it in a central database. अभी के लिए for temporary you can have the changes in your laptop. You can place it there. It's a decentralized approach, right? So that's the workflow. Merging, branching, speed, performance, integrity, everything comes with Git. Okay. So let us understand for a code base how do things happen. Okay. How does Git work? So first thing is you need to either create a repository. Either you need to create a repository, or you either need to uh, you can say clone a repository, clone existing repository. So what does this mean is कि first of all people can understand that repositories would simply mean folders. Okay, in Windows if you are making some folders, वो folder के अंदर if you are maintaining things, that is like a repository. Okay, so either you can start by creating a repository or you can start by cloning it. Both ways will work in real life. If you are working in some industry, of course you are working with a designation of maybe a developer, AI specialist, or an engineer. Whatever you are just a core developer, right? So ideally the team leads, tech leads, or the management, or the high level authority, they will be the people who will be controlling the Git for that company, right? So mostly you will not be creating repositories for the company. Of course, if it's a small scale company, they will not have such infrastructure to maintain Git. They might tell you to do this on your own. But ideally, in some good company, or when I say good, okay. Am I losing network? Is it so? Is it just one student or is it for all of us? Can I just quickly get in some quick, you can say, chats coming in? Is it just one person or I'm losing network for all? Let us just quickly check. Okay, all right, lagging a bit. Okay. Okay. Let me just quickly refresh my network in that case. Okay, no issues for me. You had lost in between, but now it is okay. All good. All good. Okay. Good. Great. Fine. ठीक है. Now coming back to the point that we can either have to create some new repositories, or we will have to clone the existing repositories. So थिंग इज इन सिंपल टर्म्स अगर मैं बताऊं, या तो आप अपना फोल्डर खुद बना लो जिसमें कोड करने वाले हो, या फोल्डर को कंपनी बना के दे देगी, वो आप क्लोन ले लो. व्हाट डज दिस मीन इज, इन इंग्लिश आई विल रिपीट द सेम थिंग अगेन, के it would mean that either you create your own folder in which you're planning to develop things as a developer, or you ask the company to give you the folder in which you have to work, right? This folder will come from the server of the company. That could be the company's Git profile. That is the idea of how you can work. So initially you will start with this ground zero, and when you are moving ahead, you will create some branches probably for you, right? Yes, do not worry, Praveen, as I gave you a complete disclaimer that anything that will go in Hindi will not be a leakage. You will not miss any single knowledge in Hindi, right? So trust me, guys, that I will be very flexible. Trust me, I can speak more than Hindi English. I can go for even Marathi, Gujarati. I'm really sorry. I really wish to learn Tamil because I'm a big fan of Tamil films, and a huge fan of Vijay Thalapatty sir, and I respect his all the movies. So sometimes I have that personal quench that I should go and learn a little bit of South Indian languages. I also watch Malayalam movies. I also watch Telugu movies. Big fan, but probably for now I cannot do that. I'll stick to Hindi and English, most common. All of you are satisfied with that. And trust me, people, if you want to go ahead with the notes, you have to join tomorrow's session. I'll make sure that I'll give you some amazing notes coming in over there. Right. And let's be a little unbiased. I'll not say that Hindi is the best. I'll say all languages are fair enough. Even if you know one single language, that is more than enough in your life, right? So by default, I am a Sikh, I'm a Punjabi, so I can speak in Punjabi, I can speak in, my friends are in Hindi, I commute that, my friends are in English, I speak that. I can do Gujarati, I can do Marwadi, I can do Marathi because I stay in Mumbai a lot. So language should not be a barrier, right? I'll use both the languages because they are the common one. We will stick to English and Hindi both. Do not worry, there should be no debate on that. Moving ahead, branch, you have an idea now. That next thing is that branch is something that will come up, right? Of course, Kannada movies, I'm a big fan of that also, do not worry. So branch, what will happen is, next stage is you're creating a branch. Now you're making your own changes, right? You will start with local. Let us say you have a local laptop, okay? Local laptop, you will start from here. On the local laptop, we are doing some changes because in real life this is how things work. In real life, हमने एक branch, हमने एक repository ले ली, उसमें एक branch बना ली, and now we are starting our work from day one. I'll be creating some basic environment files, I'll be creating some basic code files, setup करूंगा, कुछ libraries लगेंगी वो setup करूंगा. If I'm going for node, then I'll install node, npm i, npm install packages, ये सब करके I'll go with the node. If I'm working with Python, I'll go for create environment, start install dependencies, okay? I'll do some there are some integrations, I'll make sure that the APIs are working, things like that. I'll manage that, and I'll start my development from day one, okay? Now when I've developed, I'll be doing some changes, testing them locally, because as a developer, any developer would like to test their work first by their own, right? And once that is done, they will now want to push the changes. So now you will be doing some you will add your files to the Git repository, you will make some commit locally, and once it is done, you would want to push these changes, okay? And once the changes are pushed, you will raise a merge request. What does merge request mean is, okay, now you want to merge it into the main branch, okay? Every company will maintain a main branch. Main branch will mean that this is the most important branch where centrally all things are connected, right? So जब आपने अपने लोकल में कुछ काम कर लिया है, आपने कुछ फाइल्स बना ली हैं, आपको लग रहा है कि आपका एक टास्क, एक माइलस्टोन पूरा हो गया है, now what you will want to do is, now you will want to merge these things. सो टू मर्ज इट, आप जैसे ही पुश करते हो, थिंग्स गो इनटू द स्टेजिंग एरिया, ठीक है? सो स्टेजिंग एरिया का मतलब क्या होता है कि ये मर्ज अभी भी हुआ नहीं है, ये पुश हुआ है, इट इज इन स्टेजिंग एरिया. सो गिट हैज अ स्टेजिंग एरिया वेयर डेवलपर्स कैन सिलेक्टिवली चूज, ओके, व्हिच चेंजेस शुड गो इन द कमिट, ठीक है? ये कमिट करने के पहले का स्टेज होता है. सो दिस फीचर प्रोवाइड्स नो लाइक अ फाइन ग्रेन्ड कंट्रोल ओवर कमिटमेंट. देखो, आपको सबसे पहले फ्रॉम वेयर डू द टास्क स्टार्ट. So you start the task with first of all adding files. So when you're adding files, what this mean is कि यहाँ पर हो सकता है you make some mistake. You can do some mistake over here. You added something which you didn't want to add, or you added something extra, or you added something less. Okay, so there is a staging area in between before committing. okay, that you can review it. And once you're done, you will commit and push, and once it is pushed, you still have enough, you can say, options before doing wrong. You can merge, you can raise the merge. In fact, in the merge stage, what will happen is you can raise a request that someone should be a reviewer, right? So I'll tell you why we need a reviewer. Suppose you want to make a decision in your life, okay, and you have thought 10 times about it, but why opinions matter is maybe like your brain is biased to something and you're not able to see it correctly. I'll give you one example. I'll give you one practical example. That suppose someone's salary is 10 lakh rupees, okay, and they are planning to buy a car, but they are biased a little bit about some good car. Maybe they are biased about, say they want to buy a Creta, okay, they want to buy a Creta or some expensive car, but their budget doesn't allow that, right? But since they are biased, they will think 10 times and their brain will still push कि नहीं, this is good, buy Creta, you can afford it, because they're able to see कि ठीक है, my salary is coming in around like 60-70,000, EMI is only 30,000, I'll manage. If you take opinion from other people, maybe they will be able to see this bug, okay. So again, I'll take some another example. Why we have testers in the IT field, okay? Why, once a developer is doing their own testing known as developer testing, why do we need tester to do the testing? It is because as a human, we can have some biases. Even if we read a document 10 times, we might not be able to see one mistake because we are biased, and we are just quickly running it through, and we are always missing that information, right? So once that is done, we need someone to review our code, so that by chance if we are doing some mistake, let the other person clear it out, right? I'll explain staging area once again, do not worry, okay. So what will happen is, once the reviewer also passes कि ठीक है, this is good, then the merging will happen and things will go into the main branch. And trust me, you are the best part about version control system is, even if you do such mishaps, and companies do it on an often basis. You might have heard Flipkart pages has gone rogue, or Netflix has gone rogue. There's some bug that has come up in the production. Happens. You can quickly roll back because you're using version control system. You will just immediately roll back to the previous version. Coming back to the staging area, what is staging area in the very first place? So staging area is also known as an indexing area, is where developers can selectively choose like what exactly should happen in the next commit, right? So suppose if I have added few things, I can see the staging area will show me what are the selections, or like what are the changes that are going to happen now. Over there I can still decide, okay, remove this change, add this change, I can still modify whatever things are to be changed. That is the staging area, okay. So that's the most primary fundamental feature of using Git, okay. So I'll just quickly switch back to my you can say laptop to help you now download Git and explain you how Git can work over there. So just give me a minute, students. I'll not take much. I'll just have to switch off my another display which I'm using. Just let me quickly get it done. Okay, I'll first stop sharing. All right, now I'll share my other screen. So I'll share my entire screen. Okay, let me students if my screen is visible. Okay, I can see my screen is visible. That's more than enough. Okay, so now let me just quickly go to the desktop and we will start from here, ground zero. Okay, so suppose now I want to install the Git feature. Okay, let me just quickly also start the chats on this point. Okay, great, I can see chats coming in over on this screen now. Perfect. All right, students. So now suppose I want to start with installing Git. So how I can do that is I'll have to do Git install on one browser. Okay, any browser I can do it. This is the official site. Okay, pay attention to my screen. Try to mimic this if you are currently following with me in the live tutorial. If you want to install Git, Students, go to any browser. देखो, this is my Google Edge, or you can say Microsoft Edge. I'll just go to Google Chrome. Let me just quickly go over there. Let me search Git download. This is the page. Downloads, Git SCM downloads. Okay, I have two browsers. Whatever browser, wherever you are, you just have to reach this page, gitscm.com/download. Website name is also pretty simple. I'll try to put it in the YouTube if I am able to. I'll put it in the chat. All right. Yep. That's the site. Very simple, gitscm/downloads. Okay. So once you have that, I'll just go to that link. I'll just go to the download section. And once I'm on that page, you can see downloads are available for three different operating systems. Okay. Uh, Version is macOS, Windows, and Linux, right? All right. Okay. Perfect. Yep. With that being said, now we will just I'll click on Windows because this is what I'm using. Download for Windows. I can also go it from here. I think students, you are smart enough to download a file, right? You can just click on Windows or your preferable operating system. Once you click there, you will get click here to download the latest version. Okay. All right, so I'll just try to click on this blue thing. This blue thing will start the download for me. If not, I can also select from here 34-bit, 64-bit. Okay, I can choose this standalone installers also, but I'll just click here simply to get Git. So you can see Git is installing on my system. We will wait for the system to download. Okay, we just have some time. It says 2 minutes. That is fine. All right. Okay, many people are interested in my wallpaper. I am really not honest from where did I got it, because I just typed Demon Slayer wallpapers 4K, and it was not Pinterest, but it was some of the website from where I was able to download it, right? Could be Peak PX probably. And yep, for anime fans, I hope you all have seen the new trailer for My Hero Academia, right? The new season is coming up very soon, and pretty interested about it. Uh, Also interested about the Demon Slayer coming in May 12th. The streaming will start, but this year there's not much to see in it. Just the Hashira training art coming into picture. Yeah. All right. I can see many anime fans into the session also. Great. So during this talk, we are also finishing the download. It is just 40 more seconds for me. You all can just continue with it. Yep. And for all the anime fans, I am more interested for 2 years. I just have to stay alive for next 2 years to watch the Demon Slayer finale. Then all my wishes are completed from this planet. So yeah, all right. So the difference between Bash and Git, Jazz is asking us. So the difference is that Bash is a scripting language and Git is a software. Git is a version control software, and Bash is like a scripting language, right? Okay, so that they are two very different things. Bash is a, like, Perl is a scripting language, Python is a scripting language. So Bash is a scripting language which you can use. It is like a programming language, scripting language. Okay. So I mean, Mac machine, I don't get direct DMG or PKG file. If you can show me sudo apt command for terminal, sure. Let us just quickly go over there. I'll just go back. I'll just click on Mac. So if I go to Mac operating system download files, let me just click there. If you have Brew, you can just do Brew install. Okay. And if you do not have Brew, probably you can just follow this tutorial right over here, that how to install Brew. Trust me, for Mac, Homebrew is a very good thing to have. So you can just quickly install. Installing Brew is just one single line of code that you have to do, right? Just run this file and then do Brew install Git. Okay. So that's the tutorial for MacBook. Okay, you can just follow it. How to update if already installed? So git update is the command. You can try that, and don't worry, Rohan, I'll walk you through that. uh, Always, even if you have downloaded it, no worries if you just re-download it once again. Okay, so let me just go to the downloads. Okay, and once I go to the downloads, you see I have this Git file downloaded completely for me. Okay, so once I've downloaded it, I'll just click on this file, double click will start the setup. Okay, it will start the setup. It is asking me, do you want to run this service? I'm saying yes. And now we have the setup coming into the picture. So even if I have installed Git, no worries, I will reinstall it, will update it. Sir, I have installed using Homebrew, I have a Mac, so will the commands differ? No, the commands for Git won't differ because Git has its own terminal known as gitbash, and bash scripting is common for all the operating systems. Okay, fine. So let me just click on install over here. You see it is simply saying removing previous version because I already have Git, and that's how you can also, one way to update Git is like this. So no worries. Okay, so Dope Shots has given some comment, but there are some icons in the very bottom comment. I cannot read it correctly. Once I get few more comments, your comment will go up, and then maybe I'll be able to see it. Is there any difference between Git GUI and I'm not able to see what the other thing is? Okay, so download has finished. You can see that it is completely saying that either you can launch the Git bash and or you want to view the release notes. So the difference between Git and Git GUI is that Git works through a terminal and GUI has its own user interface to work with it. Trust me, you won't need GUI at all. एक बार Git सीख लिया है, it is more than enough. Okay. How will it automatically update? So you can run the command git update, and I'll tell you how to run that command. Okay, you can. It's very easy to do it. You can always do that. Now, once you finish the installation, it is asking, do you want to launch Git Bash or do you want to view release note? I don't want to do anything for now. I'll just finish. I'll just start my terminal, and you all know how to start a terminal. For people who do not, let me break down the steps again. Click start. यहाँ पे CMD लिख लो. Command prompt आ गया for Windows. You can use it. Okay. Uh, okay. I have not used. I think Mac for more, but command T करने से या command space, you can use command space and type terminal मिल जाएगा. For Mac, that's how it will work. Okay, command space and terminal, you will be able to find it, and you can search command prompt. By default, it starts with some root directory. Okay, so which team do you support in IPL? Unfortunately, I am a little less acquainted with the cricket, but I rarely or once in a blue moon do prefer to watch some IPL match. So no preference to the team. I'll go with whatever team you are supporting, Viraj. Okay, I'm with your team. Moving ahead, once we have this terminal open, let me just type git and just hit enter for now. If I'm able to get certain things like this, it means git installed hai. Okay, if not, then I'll get git is not an internal or external command. Git is not recognized as internal or external command. Error. Okay, you will get some error if you have not installed git correctly. And once again, to recap to all of you, you just need some browsers. Say any browser will work. You can use whatever browser you want to use. You will just have to go to Google, search for git download. Okay, ये goat हो गया, which is Game of Thrones. I'll go to git. First link, more than enough. Go to the link, download for Windows. A file will download for you. Double click and install. Very simple to install it. Okay, once you're done, maybe you might need to restart. If needed, you restart the system if you are still facing troubles, but mostly it should reflect. Okay, so let us all check git dash dash version. What is a version of our git? I'll try to zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay, let me try to maximize this. Perfect. So git version is the command to check the version. Okay, so first of all देखो, there are many different things which are installed on your computer, and through the terminal you can access them. For example, अगर मैं यहाँ पर Python लिख दूँ, you see the terminal will exactly change. यहाँ पर Python 3.11 load हो गया है, and the terminal is now with the three dots, right? I can do print hello in Python, and it is running this feature for me. I want to exit from the Python. I have done. I want to clear the terminal. I'll just clear the terminal. So okay. I think for Windows it is little different. Clear won't work. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'll just start with the new terminal. No worries. So that's how like many things can work around. So once we are here, okay, we just need to use git. So git is recognized like how Python is, or any other command could be. If you have installed like ffmpeg एक library install की है, it will understand install packages your terminal will understand Git is now installed. Dash dash version is the command which you are passing in. Git ke saath, if you are passing this command, it means that you are passing, you want to check the version of your Git, and you will get this output. Let me just quickly copy this output. Control Shift C से copy हो जाता है. Control Shift C. On terminal, remember Control C means to kill. Okay, so whatever is on terminal will be killed अगर आप Control C दबा देते हो. If you do Control Shift C, it means you're copying things. So I have just posted in the chat that this is the output for me, and you guys can just quickly check what is the output for you. Can I get your outputs, guys? Git version 22 2.440 Windows 1 is my output. Let us see how many of you can post it in the chat. What versions are you getting? More than interested to see your chat, students. Let us see. Okay, where are we? Live chats. Okay, not running. So let me go to live chat. Okay, so Programmer Hub has given us Git version 2.3.2 app from Apple. So today I was practicing some Java code on VS. I made a private repo and was trying to push the files, commit plus push, but it isn't showing in the repo. Do not worry, Himanshu. Tomorrow we will be also doing the same thing, and you should will be able to push it. No issues in that. Okay. So with that being said, let us see. All right, cool. Do not worry, students. If you are facing troubles in pushing, I'll help you fix that. Okay. Now, next thing is we want to do some basic configurations. So whenever we install Git, we have to do some basic configurations for the Git, which is like the username or the email ID that we want to use. I'll do Git configuration. Config is the command. And remember in terminal, a white space means that we are adding some more arguments. यहाँ पर मैंने config लिखा है. Uh, Another white space and I'm doing dash dash global. It means I'm adding one more thing into it. So now Git will understand that Git has to go into the config mode. In the config mode, it has to go into the global mode. Okay, in the global mode, I'll use user dot name. Okay, which means Git को config करना है global level पे user के name का, and then you will have to pass in your name, such as Gaurav could be the name, right? Or Gaurav Lote. I'll pass this. I'll hit enter. Okay, and I'll do git config dash dash global user dot email. I'll pass, and I'll pass GAURAVLOTEY @gmail.com, for example. Hit enter, and now I'll be able to have this. Okay. So that's how we can configure the Git to have our username and email. Okay. So git config, if I type, and if I want to say global, so git config dash dash global user dot name. If I want to check यहाँ पे क्या है, it will tell me Gaurav Lote inside it, right? We have to check git config dash dash global dot user dot email. It will give me this is the email. So this is as simple as how you can create and configure Git for your personal level. Okay? As a developer, you'll have to do this. Once you're done, let us just quickly go to some directory where we want to create some folder. Okay, so let us go to some folder. Let us say GitLabs. Okay, fine. We will create. Okay, not this one. We will go to some folder. Let us say let's upgrade. Okay, and let us say git work. Let us say new folder such as 0104 2024 git demo. All right, let us go here. Suppose this is the folder in which I want to start my work. I'll do right click, show more options. This is for me. I can do git bash over here, or I can also use my terminal. So people who are asking, or people who are wondering what is the difference between git bash or git GUI or git terminal or command prompt or Windows PowerShell or your Ubuntu or Mac terminals or commandlets, thing is that these are all different softwares which do the same thing. They help you interact with the uh, components, okay, of the computer. So you can use anything, no worries. Commands will remain almost same for you, apart from just git bash here and there. Okay. So with that being said, what I will do is I'll do git status. What does this command do for me is that this command checks in this folder, in this directory, if it is a repository, that what is the status of the system over here. If I do status, it will throw me fatal error. What does this mean is that this is not a git repository. Okay, git repository should have a .git folder in it. So if I have to make something as git repository, I'll have to do git in it, where init will stand for initialize. Okay, and if I initialize, I'll do git init, and you will see initializing an empty repository, and magically a .git folder has come up over here. What does this mean is now that this thing has been converted into a repository, and this is the configuration file. I'll try to open it with the notepad. If I open it with the notepad, you will be able to see some repository format, version, file mode, and things like that in the core. Okay, so okay, let me close this for now. Let me open up the header. I'll open it, and it will say that for now it is pointing to the master branch. Okay, description by default git is created with the master branch. I'll start with the notepad. Unnamed repository, edit this description to name the repository. You see there are different by default एकदम एक static सा basic सा एक git बन के तैयार हो गया है. Now if I do basically git status over here, you are on the master branch by default. ठीक है, क्योंकि मैंने आपको कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में ओपन करके दिखाया that by default git master branch से start होता है, and no commits yet. You do not have to do any committing over here, right? So once that is done, let me start my task then. ठीक है, मैं एक न्यू फोल्डर क्रिएट करता हूँ, और let me try to open this in VS Code. नहीं, चलो VS Code में नहीं करके मैं यहीं पे करता हूँ. मान लो मैं कुछ कोडिंग कर रहा हूँ. मान लो आई एम क्रिएटिंग अ टेक्स्ट फाइल. ओके, say a feature one, I'm building this. So feature one में I'm writing some code. Okay, so this is some random code that I am building in say feature one, and this is some cool stuff that I am writing. Okay, uh, this cool stuff is also being tested by me. I feel that as a developer I am doing good. Just understand that this could be some code that you can write, right? This is super code. Okay, you have written some code, now you want to save it. You have saved this. Let me just close all these files. Now let me again go back to my terminal. I'll do git status over here and see how status has some more information for me now. I'm still on my master branch. I have nothing to commit yet because nothing is in the staging area, as I mentioned. But there are some untracked files. What does this untracked file mean? That my git recognizes that inside this repository, there is one new file that you have created by the name of feature1.txt. If something happens to this file, git is not responsible for those changes. Remember, okay, ये फाइल ही डिलीट हो गई और ये फाइल कमिटेड नहीं थी, तो ये फाइल लॉस्ट है. So the most important thing is that if you want to preserve our changes, we should always try to save things. And ये सिर्फ एक डेवलपर की स्टोरी नहीं है. Everyone suffers from this fate. Even a graphic designer, even something working on UI UX, even someone working on some important task, we do not have a habit of in between saving files. We are developing, writing और गलती से सब delete हो गया, then we will just cry कि scratch से start करना पड़ रहा है. So the most important thing is to develop a good habit that you will always track your changes. So as a good developer, I do not want to leave my work untracked. इवनिंग के 7 बज गए हैं, 6 बज गए हैं, और वट एवर टाइम इट इज वेयर आई एम क्लोजिंग माई शिफ्ट, आई एम ऑलरेडी आई हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क एंड आई एम फीलिंग लाइक एक दिन में क्या ही हो जाएगा, लाइक व्हाट विल हैपन इन अ डे, आई विल कम बैक टुमारो एंड सेव इट. ठीक है, आई डू लिटिल, आई विल शो माई लेजीनेस nature over there. So you'll have to fix that. And remember, Git will only work if you have tracked your files correctly. So what I'll have to do is, I know feature.1 mein kya hai. Hence I'll do git that git add feature1.txt file. I'll type this thing. Okay, git add feature1.txt. See, for people who are wondering how it is happening so fast, I do not need to write everything. FEA लिखा, and I'm pretty sure FEA से सिर्फ एक ही फाइल बन रही है जो इस फोल्डर में पड़ी है. I'll use tab, tab tab कीबोर्ड पे कमांड होते हैं कैप्स लॉक के ऊपर. I'll hit tab, it will auto complete for me. ठीक है. Like suppose if I'm writing any random thing and hitting tab, कुछ नहीं होगा क्योंकि ऐसे नाम से कोई फाइल नहीं पड़ी है यहाँ पे. F लिख के टैब करूंगा ना तो भी चल जाएगी, बिकॉज एक ही फाइल है जो F से स्टार्ट होती है यहाँ पे. सो यू जस्ट टाइप सम इनिशियल्स और टैब दबा दो, अपने आप काम हो जाता है. इनफैक्ट सपोज अगर आपको कल चल के 10-15 फाइल्स ऐड करनी है, 4-5 फाइल्स ऐड करनी है, इफ यू वांट टू ऐड सो मेनी फाइल्स, जस्ट सिंपली ऐड अ डॉट. डॉट विल मीन जितना भी कुछ रेड में है ना वो सारा एक साथ ऐड कर दो. ओके, फॉर नाउ देयर इज जस्ट वन फाइल. आई से git add this. Now let us check git status. Again, you are on the master branch, no commits yet, changes to be committed are this. So this is my staging area. Okay, and if I want to remove anything from here, if I want to unstage something, I can still use git removed cached and file name. So I'll do git removed cached. I'll do feature.1. So you will see that feature.1 has been removed, and when I do git status, I'll see. Okay, just a second, students. If my light is flickering, I'm not sure. Okay. So git remove cached feature1 git status on master branch, no commits yet, untracked files and things like that. Okay. So once this is done, what I have to do is I'll have to just simply add it back. अगर मैंने गलती से इसको निकाल दिया है. So git add dot feature.1 dot text, and if I just add it, now what I'll have to do is I'll have to check once again git status. Got back to this point. So now you know how you can from the staging area still remove some files. Okay, if you have to. So after doing the add command, you go to the staging area. You can check the staging area, and if you feel things are going good, you can proceed with the commit. So once I'm committing, I told you Git will ask you for reasons why you are what is the reason that you are committing it. I'll say saving day one progress. Okay, ideally people don't commit so quickly. They commit once they've made some feature. Okay, but I'll commit it. No worries, you can write anything in the commit. What you will see is that on the master branch B05F0FE, this is the unique code through which Git will recognize your commit. Saving day one progress, this is the commit that you have done. One file is changed and there are 8 lines added into it. Okay, this is the tag through which they will recognize that feature one what modified. Now I'll do git status. It will say you're on the master branch, nothing to commit, working tree is clean. Okay, let me just go close it. Now tomorrow again I log in and I go to feature one and I write this is some more cool stuff I have added, and this completes my work of building the feature. Okay, let me save this file. So once I've saved this file, once again I'll go open my terminal and I'll do git status again over here. What I'm seeing on the status is that you're on the master branch, change is not staged for commit, you can add. And now you see it is not saying that feature.1 is a new file, it is saying feature.1 is been modified. Okay, I'll do git add this file, git status. Okay, git commit make adding the feature one build. Okay, whatever you want to write. Done. You will see that we have added this thing. One thing has been deleted from the file, and 3 new lines have been added to the file as per the commit. So this is how, at a very basic level, we can use Git to use the staging area, commit things, initialing repositories, okay, and doing things. We can do Git log if you want, and you can just simply get the complete history of what has done. देखो, at this ID 96972 यहाँ पर क्या हुआ था? Adding feature 1 build, three things were inserted, one file was changed, and one thing was deleted. Okay, and this was the day. Author was Gauravdeep Singh, Gaurav Lote, and this is their email ID. Date was Monday, 1st April, 7 p.m. 46 minutes 39 seconds, 2024, as per the standard time, and this is the commit that they made. Previous to this, there was again one commit which was on 7:44:52, and saving day one progress. This is what happened. So Git logs can give us complete features over there, right? So I will definitely give you some features that you can practice. I'll give you some notes when you come back tomorrow. But for today, I think this is all. So many people are asking when will the session, how much session will last. I think this is all that I'm teaching for today. All right. Okay, so for reading chats, people are saying that there is no folder by the name of .git created. It is because probably your file explorer is having hidden files not visible. So if you click on view and in the show, you will find hidden items. If you uncheck it, you will not be able to see that folder. Okay, but if you again go to the view, you go on the show and add this hidden feature, hidden things, only then you'll be able to see this folder. All right. Yes, Jashan, this session is getting recorded. You can see it whenever you want it. So that's the best part about the session. All right. Let us check about some more chats coming in, students. I'm more than willing to take chats. Let me go to the StreamYard. All right. So thank you everyone for joining in for today's session. I'll see you all tomorrow, and we will do some cool stuff tomorrow also. Don't worry.